Modi assumes office, gets to work. Big suspense over portfolios. Who gets what in Modi Cabinet 3.0? All eyes on portfolio allocation. Modi 3.0, first day, first show.
In the last 20 years, it has never taken this long for portfolios to be announced after the swearing in of a government. In 2004, it took about 15 hours after swearing in for the portfolio list to be out. Then it took about 16 hours. In 2014, it took 15 hours. In 2019, it took 17 hours. And now we're at about 22 hours and counting. And still, no portfolio list has come out. What's taking so long? The first cabinet meeting of Modi 3.0 is set to begin any time now, but the cabinet positions, the MOS positions, the portfolios haven't been revealed, at least to the public, just yet. We're going to get you clarity on that right here on 5 Live. I'm Shiv. These are the headlines. Modi 3.0 kicks off his third term, signs his first file on Kisan welfare scheme that will benefit over 9.3 crore farmers. All eyes on the first cabinet meet that begins any moment now. Modi's first address since taking office for the third historic time. Addressing PMO officials, he says, aim is to take the nation to new heights with the people's PMO.
न सत्ता के लिए पैदा हुआ हूं, न मैं शक्ति अर्जित करने के लिए सोचता हूं.
Two children aged 2 and 14 years old among the 9 killed in Riyasi terror attack. Pakistan-backed Lashkar Front, TRF, claims responsibility. Have India and Maldives left their ugly diplomatic spat behind? All smiles and handshakes as Maldives President Muizu and Prime Minister Modi meet right after the swearing-in ceremony. They sit side by side, pleasantries exchanged. Modi-Muizu bonhomie signals a thaw in ties. Big row over BJP IT head Amit Malviya. RSS Neta Shantanu Sinha levels sex abuse allegations against the BJP IT cell chief. Malviya sues Sinha over sex abuse charge. RSS says this man has nothing to do with the RSS and is only related to a BJP leader. The Prime Minister's first address after taking oath for a historic third time as Prime Minister consecutively. Speaking to PMO officials, the Prime Minister has put out a very strong message saying, my endeavour from the beginning has been that the PMO should become an institution of service. Let's just get you some key excerpts of what the Prime Minister has just said to PMO officials, the first address to his staff.
दोस्तों 10 साल पहले हमारे देश में एक छवि बनी हुई थी कि पीएमओ एक शक्ति का केंद्र है, एक बहुत बड़ा पावर सेंटर है और मैं न सत्ता के लिए पैदा हुआ हूं, न मैं शक्ति अर्जित करने के लिए सोचता हूं. मेरे लिए पीएमओ सत्ता केंद्र बने, पीएमओ शक्ति केंद्र बने, ये न मेरी इच्छा है न मेरा वो रास्ता है. और इसलिए 2014 से हमने जो कदम उठाए, आपने मार्क किया होगा और पहले जो पीएमओ में रहे होंगे उनसे पूछ लेना, हमने इसको एक कैटलिक एजेंट के रूप में ही डेवलप करने की कोशिश की है. वो कैटलिक एजेंट के यहां से ऊर्जा प्रसारित होती रहे, यहां से नई नई चेतना प्रसारित होती रहे, जो पूरे तंत्र के अंदर एक प्रकार से विद्युत की तरह नई चमक दे, नई रोशनी दे, नई सामर्थ्य दे। और मेरी कोशिश रही है कि पीएमओ ये सेवा का अधिष्ठान होना चाहिए। पीएमओ ये पीपल्स पीएमओ होना चाहिए, ये मोदी पीएमओ नहीं हो सकता है। और इसलिए मेरे दिल दिमाग में सिवाय 140 करोड़ कोई नहीं, और मेरे लिए 140 करोड़ नागरिक नहीं है। मेरे लिए 140 करोड़ परमात्मा का रूप है। और जब मैं सरकार में बैठ करके कोई निर्णय करता हूं तो मैं सोच रहा हूं कि मैंने आज 140 करोड़ देशवासियों को इस रूप में मैंने पूजा की है, और उनके चरणों में मैंने इस योजना के रूप में एक पुष्प चढ़ाया है। उस भाव से मैं काम करता हूं।
Now, the first cabinet meeting of Modi 3.0 is to begin very, very shortly. Ministers have already begun arriving for the first Modi cabinet meet, but the suspense continues over portfolios. No government has taken this long in the last 20 years to publicize the ministry portfolios. It's nearly 22 hours since the swearing in that took place last evening, but the portfolios are still not out. Of course, they may have been revealed to the ministers, but they have not been officially announced by way of a notification from the Rashtrapati Bhavan. That hasn't happened just yet. Let's get some clarity on that from our reporters on the field. Poulomi Saha, who's been tracking all the political movements. Aishwarya Paliwal is outside, the PMO as well. Poulomi, quickly to you first. Any word on the portfolios? It's already taken a record number of hours since the swearing in which you were covering yesterday, but there's still no sign of it. It's supposed to be out now because the cabinet meeting, the first one, is about to begin. Can that happen without the portfolios being announced? I'm just wondering.
Absolutely. It's not mandatory for, of course, the cabinet ministers who are present inside 7 Lok Kalyan Marg right now to know exactly what ministry has been allocated to them. It could be, of course, the first briefing of the Prime Minister's where he lays out his vision for how he would want them to function based on the portfolios that will be then, of course, allocated to them. What the roadmap will be in terms of what work has been done already at the ministry, what are the targets and goals that the ministry is set for itself in the previous tenure, how much of it is completed and how much of it remains to be completed. Yeah. So, all of that can be spoken about afterwards as well. So the Prime Minister could be laying out his vision. He could possibly tell them about their portfolios later as well, because from what we know, they still don't know, walking into 7 Lok Kalyan Marg, what their portfolios are at the moment. And Shiv, as far as that allocation is concerned, the number of phone calls that journalists have received thinking that, it's going to drop on their phones first, it's the suspense is killing a lot of people across political circles, and especially in all these mantris offices as well, and across various stakeholders, and their groups as well. So I think both Aishwarya and me can vouch for it. We've refreshed our phones a few number of times since last night, but that list hasn't dropped yet.
So MPs were refreshing their phones yesterday, and journalists are refreshing their phones today to make sure that they've not missed any call or message, or for, God forbid, a PDF file that suddenly got lost in some WhatsApp group that they missed, which may carry their name. Aishwarya, the truth of the matter is, when it takes this long, the truth is, of course, that since 2004, it has taken anywhere between 15 and 19 hours, 17 hours for the portfolio list to come out. Now it's over 20 hours, which is, it's not scary, but it suggests that this is not an easy task. There is some pressure, there is some push and pull, there is some baatcheet happening. There are pressure groups within this new coalition sarkar as well. What are you hearing from the political grapevine?
Well, Shiv, let me tell you one thing. This is exactly what the Bharatiya Janata Party is known for. This is Prime Minister Narendra Modi and the BJP for you. If they want to keep something a secret, then they definitely will keep it a secret, because we have seen A lot of leaders have come on camera and spoken about the fact that they will work, and this is Modi Sarkar 3.0, and they will do everything to make sure that the government runs not just for the next 5 years, but even beyond that. But the one thing that they have not spoken about is who's getting what, and that exactly is the million-dollar question. But yes, as you were pointing out, there is a subgroup within this larger group, and there are a lot of talks taking place because both are now understanding the BJP, how important the allies are for them, and the allies are also understanding their importance in this coalition government. The JDU and the TDP specifically have had a wish list. They have given it to Prime Minister Narendra Modi, the BJP, the top. But one thing is very, very clear, that the top ministryship will be staying with the Bharatiya Janata Party.
Okay, so they're going to stay with the Bharatiya Janata Party, but is it going to be the same ministers? That's also in suspense right now. People are wondering whether there's going to be a shuffle, within the CCS ministries, as they are called, which is basically Defence, Home Finance and External Affairs. But we'll have to wait until that actually happens. We hate to speculate on something this important. Stay with me, Aishwarya and Polomi, because we've got more breaking news coming in. Very, very, rapid news breaks coming in and developments coming in on this political thriller in motion. Who's getting what is what this is all about. Suspense now over portfolio distribution, this time from the BJP's ally in Karnataka, the JDS. The first cabinet meet is set to begin. Who will get which ministry is the big question hanging in the air. JDS sources are telling India today that they've not been told about the ministry that HD Kumaraswamy will be getting. Nagarjun Dwarkanath is with us on the phone line from Bengaluru. Naga, HDK doesn't know what ministry he's getting. We don't know if that's true or not, but it's past 5 o'clock. The cabinet meeting is about to begin because leaders have already begun arriving at Lok Kalyan Marg. Perhaps they're going to be told by the Prime Minister himself.
Well, that's what the JDS sources have been telling us, that till 5 p.m. they were not been verbally communicated about the portfolio yet. And they're hopeful that in this 5 o'clock cabinet meeting that the Prime Minister or they would be told as to what portfolios each ally partner on each minister will be getting. That's the news coming from JDS sources. They had requested, or at least we're hopeful of getting agriculture ministry because JDS ideology goes with farmers and farming community, and hence they requested. But they are saying that they have not been communicated anything since morning that JDS or Kumaraswamy has got agriculture ministry. We'll have to wait, is what JDS has been told, because they wanted to do a huge celebration back in Bengaluru if they had got agriculture ministry. But till now, they have been not told verbally yet on the ministry.
Okay, very interesting. Polomi, want to get you in on this as well. HD Kumaraswamy, at least on the face of it, suggesting that he hasn't been told what ministry he's getting. He was one of the, MPs who was sworn in yesterday as well. We're also, apart from suspense over, what portfolio each person is getting, there are also rumblings within the, Eknath Shinde Shiv Sena about, what they've been given. We hear that there may be rumblings elsewhere as well. But right now, the question still remains that the portfolio list itself is not out. So is there any clarity about that? And also about the agenda of this first cabinet meet? Any heads up on that?
Well, Shiv, as far as this cabinet meeting is concerned, we believe that the Prime Minister, like I said, will give his cabinet of 30 ministers a sense of the roadmap for this government Modi 3.0. And also, the cabinet is likely to recommend to the President to call for a session, call for the Parliament session at the earliest. They're going to recommend dates from what we understand from our sources. It could likely begin on the 18th of June itself. We have to wait and see how long that session could be, because the first session of the 17th Lok Sabha lasted from the 17th of June then in 2019 to the 6th of August, so over a month long. The first couple of days would be the swearing-in ceremony of all the MP elects, and then the election of the Speaker. And then, of course, the joint address by the President to both houses on the 21st of June. That is the tentative timeline that we understand from our sources. So that is what the Cabinet could be recommending. And as far as portfolio allocation is concerned, Shiv, it should come today itself, because, the Prime Minister would want all his ministers to assume charge of their respective offices tomorrow itself.
Okay, very, very interesting. Still no clarity. Tomorrow is when everyone will need to hit the ground running, take office, take charge of their ministries and start work immediately. No luxury of any kind of break despite a long election season. Sagai Raj is also with us live from Bengaluru. Sagai, the JDS has got one cabinet berth, that is H.D. Kumaraswamy was sworn in. They haven't been told what ministry they're getting. Have they revealed what their preference is? What kind of ministry, what kind of portfolio is the JDS hoping that Mr. Kumaraswamy will get?
See, much before Karnataka could go for polling, while talking to one of the news agencies, the former Chief Minister H.D. Kumaraswamy has categorically mentioned that he desired to be in the agriculture portfolio, to be the, if at all, if he's been offered as a cabinet ministry. And he has also said that it is all up to the Prime Minister of India, Modi, who will take the decision on that. So, but he has expressed his desire to be the agriculture minister, if at all, if he gets. And what we also get to learn through our sources is that apart from agriculture minister, he has also requested, in case if they are not allocating agriculture, they should go ahead and allocate a water resource ministry for him. However, there is a dispute between Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, Puducherry and Kerala when it comes to Kaveri. So keeping all these conflicts in their mind, probably they might not allocate the water resource to H.D. Kumaraswamy, but we need to wait and watch whether he will get the agricultural ministry as he desired to.
Okay, interesting. So he's aiming for the agriculture ministry, which most people say is the first ministry after the 4 CCS ministries. So it's interesting. There are many people who are already claimants. There are people senior in that sense who will be first in that queue, who are also above Kumaraswamy in the order of battle, as it were, in the cabinet that's meeting with the Prime Minister right now. But the question remains, who's getting what? The swearing-in ceremony is complete. Prime Minister Modi hits the ground running. Today is day 1 of India's new government. Prime Minister Modi signed his first file earlier today in his 3rd term, authorizing the release of the 17th installment of the Prime Minister Kishan Nidhi. The move that the government says will benefit over 9.3 crore farmers and will see the disbursement of over 20,000 crore rupees. After signing his first file in his 3rd term, Modi asserted that his is a sarkar which is forever committed to the welfare of farmers. Politically important, given that the farmer issue was something that took up a large part of Modi 2.0. Prime Minister Modi's decision comes hours before his cabinet meet today that has just kicked off. On the agenda is the allocation of portfolios, Modi 3.0's action plan and discussion on pending projects, as you just heard Polami say. As far as portfolios are concerned, the BJP is set to retain the 4 prized ministries, that's Home, Defence, Finance and External Affairs. They're called the CCS, or Cabinet Committee on Security Ministries. They will be held with the BJP, but could there be an internal movement among those who've held those ministries? That's the big question. Now it is to see which ministry will Naidu's TDP, Nitish's JDU and the other allies get. Just to remind our viewers that the cabinet meeting, the first cabinet meeting of Modi 3.0 has just begun. The Prime Minister, along with 30 cabinet ministers of Modi 3.0, are meeting as we speak at his office cum residence on Lok Kalyan Marg in the national capital. This meeting is inside the PMO. The Prime Minister, remember, has already begun work. He's begun signing files. He's already interacted with the staff. He's already gotten to work, but this is the first cabinet meeting where a roadmap, like our reporters just told us, will be provided towards what Modi 3.0 will really look like. Aishwarya, quickly coming to you, the first 100 days, the 100 days priority of the Modi 3.0 government, will most likely be on the agenda as well, because the government hits the ground running now. Portfolios is one detail that needs to be sorted out, which I'm sure will come in the next few minutes perhaps. But the roadmap of 100 days, or rather 125 days, remember that the Prime Minister also said 25 days for youth, all of those things will have to be on the table.
Well, definitely, Shiv, because it's bird, get, set, go for the Bharatiya Janata Party and for all the ministers who will now be taking over their respective ministries. The first 100 days very, very crucial because they want to get the ground hitting. And they have understood the mistakes that they have made, because 240 was not what the Bharatiya Janata Party was expecting, but they did get that number. So now, going forward, they have to make sure that they have in their kitty something which they can give to different people, and that's the reason why we are seeing the Prime Minister's emphasis again and again on the first 100 days.
Okay, the first 100 days is going to be that big priority. You know, politically speaking also, you know, given that a strengthened opposition will be waiting for the opening of Parliament, the new dynamics will be on display as well. You know, these initial cabinet meetings will also be important for the Modi 3.0 Sarkar to figure out the new rules of engagement before it gets into Parliament.
Well, at the moment, of course, at the cabinet meeting, Shiv, they will, of course, focus on the government's agenda, and you know, it will become much more clearer for them in terms of how they need to approach on various contentious issues, which they anticipate that the opposition will, in fact, heraw them on during the monsoon session of Parliament, like, for instance, the Agnipath scheme as well. You know, various issues need, for instance, the ones who get those portfolios will have to prepare themselves for answering of these questions, because the opposition will, of course, you know, charge at them with those very questions that the people are asking. So they will have to prepare themselves accordingly. They'll have to get their briefs from their bureaucrats and officials who effectively, you know, are running these ministries as well before they go into this session. Politically, of course, there will be more of these huddles that will happen between, you know, the top leaders of the Bharatiya Janata Party, subsequently the first parliamentary party meeting of the BJP, which will, of course, lay out how the Prime Minister would, in fact, want his MPs to, you know, conduct themselves in Parliament in terms of attendance, something which has been a concern, you know, that he's reiterated about several times around as well. But, you know, what the biggest, one of the big things as far as this government is concerned, and, you know, we should be looking out for is who gets the Parliamentary Affairs Ministry, because that person, that individual, that mantri will have to do a deft balancing act and has a lot on his plate already.
And Prahlad Joshi, who used to handle Parliament affairs, you know, had a huge amount on his plate, you know, in the sessions gone by, Poulomi, and you've been there to witness so much of it inside Parliament, getting that ringside view of how things, you know, actually played out. One of the opposition's big allegations has been that Modi 2.0 was full of bills that were just, you know, passed without debate. There wasn't enough debate in Parliament. Are we going to see more debate? But the immediate focus right now, I'll go back to Aishwarya, is that 100-day action plan of this government. Governance issues, getting back to work, the nuts and bolts of what the Modi 3.0 Sarkar is actually going to look like, what those priorities are. Things are going to move a little differently now. After a decade of a majority, a coalition Sarkar means, you know, the Prime Minister is still all-powerful. He is still, you know, Neta number one without a doubt. But there are power centers and pressure centers within the coalition now, Aishwarya, and therefore decision-making, charting out roadmaps, execution, etc., will be a slightly more mellow, perhaps measured sort of process.
Well, definitely, Shiv. Let me tell you, the next 5 years will be sort of T20, in which every ball will matter. Every run will count. So definitely the Prime Minister will want to make sure that everything is spot on, because this time they cannot afford even a single mistake. And that's the reason why we are seeing this being such a closely guarded secret. Who's getting what? And that bombshell of sorts, let me tell you, Shiv, will be dropped on all the ministers right outside, right, you know, inside that very house, the house of Prime Minister Narendra Modi, because that is, Shiv, where the cabinet meeting has begun. People will be told what they will have to do. And this time, even though it's a coalition government, the BJP will want to make sure that everything is on the spot, because they cannot afford to miss even a single wicket, and every ball will now matter for them. Shiv.
Well, balancing a lot of demands of the allies is one aspect of it, but also within the BJP, how it actually affects a cabinet of continuity is going to be very interesting to see. see how they've executed it. Now, remember, it's quite unlikely that, negotiations are still happening or decisions are still being made. I'm pretty sure that all of, if not most of, the list has already been done. It's just a matter of, putting it out at the right time, and we're waiting on that. It could happen any time now, possibly even in the next few minutes, but we're waiting to see where things actually land, because this will be crucial going forward. This is the largest that Okay, we're just going to come back to that in just a moment, but we're going to keep our eyes fixed on 7 Lok Kalyan Marg, because that's where the cabinet is currently underway. It has begun right now. There will likely be a briefing after the cabinet meeting, which will of course be live on, but the focus continues to remain on portfolios. Kisko kya mil raha hai? Who are going to be the ministers, the first Council of Ministers in the Modi 3.0 Council of Ministers, the Mantri Mandal, the shape, the form, who's out, who's back, is there going to be an up-down movement? There appear to be two streams of thought at this point of time, viewer, that I'd like to share with you, even as we are wary of speculating. One is that you're not going to see too many surprises. The other is going to say that the changes will actually be not about seniority or anything like that, but there may be a shift even within the upper echelons of the order of battle within Modi 3.0. So we're going to have to look very closely at how this actually plays out. Just as a matter of curiosity, Polami, coming to you, will there be a briefing after this cabinet meet? Okay, we'll go back to Polami in just a bit. We've got some more. Okay, let me just take that to Aishwarya quickly. Aishwarya, will there be a briefing after this cabinet meet?
Well, we are expecting it, Shiv, because, in the press conference, what we might see is them spelling out what exactly they want to do over the next course of time. But that actually depends on when the ministers will be leaving, because the meeting has begun. We don't know when the portfolios will be given out. And from what we are expecting, Shiv, I think the ministers tomorrow early morning, all of them will be going to the office and taking charge from tomorrow morning.
Okay, tomorrow morning is when they have to take charge, so it has to be by today so they can actually, get into their new clothes, as it were. Thanks very much, Aishwarya, for joining us. We've got some more breaking news coming in now. I said, after the NCP, now Eknath Shinde's Shiv Sena, the other NDA ally, has expressed unhappiness with getting just a Minister of State independent charge berth in Modi 3.0. Party Chief Whip Srirang Barane says, we were expecting a cabinet berth. Chirag Paswan has 5 MPs with the Lok Janshakti Ram Vilas. Jitan Ram Manji has got 1. The JDS got 2 MPs elected, but they still got 1, cabinet ministry. Then despite getting 7 Lok Sabha seats, why the Eknath Shinde Sena has got only an MOS independent charge? He has a point. The chief whip of the Shinde Sena has expressed the party's unhappiness over getting only 1 MOS independent charge and not cabinet. Take a look.
शिवसेना पक्षाला आम्ही अपेक्षा करत होतो की शिवसेना पक्षाला कॅबिनेट मंत्रिपद मिळेल, परंतु ज्या पक्षाचा 1 खासदार निवडून आला त्या पक्षाला कॅबिनेट मंत्रिपद देण्यात आलं. प्रामुख्याने HD कुमारस्वामी कर्नाटकचे यांचे 2 खासदार निवडून आले, त्यांना कॅबिनेट मंत्रिपद देण्यात आलं. जितन राम माझी हे बिहारमधून निवडून आले, स्वतः एकटे निवडून आले, त्यांना कॅबिनेट मंत्रिपद देण्यात आलं. त्याचबरोबर चिराग पासवान यांचे 5 खासदार निवडून आलेले आहेत बिहारमधून आणि त्यांना कॅबिनेट मंत्रिपद देण्यात आलं. खरं तर शिवसेना पक्षाचे 7 खासदार आले. एकूणच महाराष्ट्रामध्ये भारतीय जनता पक्षाने 28 जागा लढवल्या, शिवसेनेने 15 जागा लढवल्या. 28 जागेमध्ये भारतीय जनता पक्षाचे 9 खासदार निवडून आले आणि शिवसेनेचे 7 खासदार निवडून आले. आमची अपेक्षा होती की शिवसेना पक्षाला एक कॅबिनेट मंत्री आणि एक राज्यमंत्रीपद मिळेल, अशी अपेक्षा होती. परंतु 7 खासदार निवडून आले. 7 खासदार निवडून आले आणि शिवसेनेचे 7 खासदार निवडून आले. आमची अपेक्षा होती की शिवसेना पक्षाला एक कॅबिनेट मंत्री आणि एक राज्यमंत्रीपद मिळेल, अशी अपेक्षा होती.
Mustafa Sheikh is live with me for more on this. Mustafa, trouble brewing from the Shinde Sena. They say they're not happy with the MOS independent charge berth. You know, allies with a lower number of MPs have been given cabinet berths or a larger number of berths. What are you hearing? Is there likely to be some kind of action?
Shiv, earlier as you were discussing that this is a coalition government, even if Prime Minister Narendra Modi is in charge, there are demands, there are aspirations of other parties. That is one point. Second, remember that because the NCP Ajit Pawar was offered a MOS cabinet, they have not taken it. In this case, Eknath Shinde has accepted the MOS charge. So whether Shirang Barne is speaking about injustice to the NDA or to him, to the party himself is another question. The second important point is that Maharashtra regional party is getting MOS berths at a time where in just 3 to 4 months there is a state election due to happen. Whether the BJP can afford to upset its allies is another question which is coming out of this entire issue. So clearly what's going on is a question, but yes, it seems that the Maharashtra allies of the NDA, be it the NCP, Ajit Pawar or Shiv Sena, Eknath Shinde, both there are murmurs among the member of parliaments, among the party leaders that justice has not been done, and in fact Shirang Barne has spelled out that the people who have been given the cabinet berth and the number of MPs they have won and the number of MPs Shiv Sena Eknath Shinde has won is much more than them. So clearly this is happening this evening. Eknath Shinde is chairing a meeting of MPs and MLAs. This issue can come up there. We'll wait and see how Eknath Shinde responds to Shirang Barne's statement. Back to you.
Okay, Mustafa, thanks very much. We'll keep an eye on that developing story as well. Now, the new team Modi has some new faces, obviously, and many first-time ministers. This renewed Cabinet 3.0 has hit the ground running. Our next report introduces you to some of those new faces. Take a look.
I, Kinjarapu Ram Mohan Naidu,
do swear in the name of God
कि मैं विधि द्वारा स्थापित भारत के संविधान के प्रति
सच्ची श्रद्धा और निष्ठा रखूंगा.
Modi 3.0 takes shape. Narendra Modi was sworn in as the Prime Minister of India for the third consecutive term, along with several other MPs. The latest lineup in Modi's cabinet has noteworthy additions from the BJP fold, with leaders like M.L. Khattar, V. Somanna, Shivraj Chauhan, Bandi Sanjay, and Ravneet Singh Bittu and Suresh Gopi.
My duties as such Minister of State.
मैं राजीव रंजन सिंह उर्फ लालन सिंह सत्यनिष्ठा से प्रतिज्ञान करता हूं.
Partners from parties like TDP, JDU, Shiv Sena and other NDA constituents included Ram Mohan Naidu, Lallan Singh, Pratap Rao Jadhav, Chirag Paswan, Chetan Ram Manjhi and H.D. Kumaraswamy. The new leaders who have taken oath in their new roles bring with them a wealth of experience and fresh perspective. Prime Minister Modi's new term has formally begun. His cabinet now features a blend of experience and fresh faces. Bureau Report, India Today.
Ministers from across 24 states and regions have been sworn in to the new Modi 3.0 Council of Ministers. Diverse representation from across India, but is the NDA seat share represented in the number of mantris chosen from each state? Our next report answers that question.
Modi's third innings has begun.
Narendra Das Modi.
The new and diverse Team Modi has representation from across India.
I, Hardeep Singh Puri.
The BJP recorded its worst performance in Uttar Pradesh, where the NDA tally stood at 36 out of 80.
I, Jain Chaudhary.
मैं कमलेश पासवान.
9 ministers from the cabinet have been chosen from Uttar Pradesh.
मैं राजनाथ सिंह ईश्वर की शपथ लेता हूं कि मैं विधि द्वारा स्थापित भारत के संविधान के प्रति सच्ची श्रद्धा और निष्ठा रखूंगा.
मैं चिराग पासवान
Bihar, with half the seats of that of Uttar Pradesh, has gotten equal representation, with 8 mantris from the state taking oath. The BJP perhaps had to pull off a balancing act, owing to 2 of its allies, JDU and LJP Ram Vilas. West Bengal, the state which sends the 3rd highest number of MPs to Lok Sabha, has only 2 ministers in the new cabinet.
Do swear in the name of God.
The party's tally in the state has dropped from 2019.
To the Constitution of India, as by law established, that I will uphold the sovereignty and integrity of India.
In Tamil Nadu, where BJP drew a blank, Mantri L. Murugan has been retained in the government.
And allegiance to the Constitution of India.
I, Ravneet Singh.
And in Punjab, Congress import Ravneet Singh Bittu has been made a minister too.
As by law established.
The new Modi cabinet has taken shape, and the BJP faces the challenge of managing multiple and crucial allies, which together have made this coalition government. Bureau Report, India Today.
And obviously there's a really big southern footprint in the new Modi Council of Ministers. Karnataka gets the biggest proportion of 5 ministerial berths. Andhra gets 3, Telangana and Kerala get 2 berths each. Meanwhile, Tamil Nadu gets 1 ministerial berth. Here's how it all stacks up.
The National Democratic Alliance won 49 seats from South India in the Lok Sabha elections. More than 10 leaders from the region have found a place in the new Narendra Modi government. The maximum representation is from Karnataka, which sent 19 MPs to the Lok Sabha, including 18 from the BJP. Nirmala Sitharaman, a Rajya Sabha MP from the state, stays in the cabinet. Other prominent faces are Prahlad Joshi and JDS leader, former CM H.D. Kumaraswamy.
I, Kinjarapu Ram Mohan Naidu.
मैं गंगापुरम किशन रेड्डी.
मैं बंडी संजय कुमार.
The NDA has 21 MPs from Andhra Pradesh, thanks to the Telugu Desam party's stellar performance. Chandrababu Naidu's party has got 2 ministers. K. Ram Mohan Naidu has got cabinet rank.
Sir, how do you react, sir?
Now you are watching.
Yes.
Excellent beginning.
Yes.
Bright future for the nation.
Yes.
We are all very happy.
The BJP won 8 seats in Telangana. While Kishan Reddy stays a minister, the party has rewarded its firebrand leader Bandi Sanjay Kumar with a berth in the Modi government.
I, Suresh Gopi.
I, George Kurian, do swear in the name of God.
The BJP, which won its first Lok Sabha seat in Kerala, has rewarded the state with 2 ministries. Suresh Gopi, the MP from Thrissur, and George Kurian. The induction of Kurian is seen as an outreach to the Christian community. Tamil Nadu, the biggest southern state where the BJP drew a blank, has got 1 minister in L. Murugan.
That I will bear true faith and allegiance to the Constitution of India. Yes.
State BJP chief Annamalai, who was tipped to be a minister, did not make the cut. Bureau Report, India Today.
Why is it? Prime Minister Modi will be attending the oath-taking ceremony of N. Chandrababu Naidu as Chief Minister on Wednesday morning. That's June the 12th. Modi will be attending the swearing-in ceremony in Vijayawada. Remember that the BJP is in alliance with the TDP and the Janasena that has swept the Andhra Assembly elections as well as the Lok Sabha election. The BJP, riding on the strength of a resurgent TDP, has expanded its footprint in Andhra Pradesh with a handy number of MLAs as well as MPs. 3 MPs and 8 MLAs for the BJP. The Prime Minister will be in Andhra Pradesh for the swearing-in ceremony of N. Chandrababu Naidu, who returns as Chief Minister following the total wipeout of the outgoing Chief Minister, Jagan Mohan Reddy. Suspense continues to build over the Modi 3.0 inaugural cabinet meeting between the Prime Minister and 30 cabinet ministers who were sworn in yesterday, holding their first meeting right now at the Prime Minister's office on 7 Lok Kalyan Marg. Lok Kalyan Marg is his office cum residence, and that's where this cabinet meeting discussing various issues of governance, the first actions of the new government, the roadmap for the next 100 days and so on are all being discussed. There's likely to be a briefing after the cabinet meeting. All eyes, of course, right now are on portfolios. 72 ministers were sworn in as ministers yesterday by the President at the Rashtrapati Bhavan swearing-in ceremony, but we still don't know who gets what. 30 cabinet ministers, 36 ministers of state, 5 ministers of state with independent charge, 11 ministers from the NDA allies, the remaining are from the BJP, but we're still to see who gets what. 60 ministers from the BJP and 11 from the allies have all been sworn in. The cabinet meeting is underway between the Prime Minister and 30 cabinet ministers. But what has not been made public just yet and what is expected to be made public very, very soon is the list, the portfolio list. Who gets which ministry, which portfolio, who is going to be in charge of what department? Those are the questions that will be answered very, very soon. Aishwarya is live with us from outside the PMO on 7 Lok Kalyan Marg. Aishwarya, cabinet meeting in full flow right now. Everybody is inside. Prime Minister, his staff, 30 cabinet ministers who make up the first Modi 3.0 cabinet. It's a landmark time for them as well, because they get to be part of a dispensation where the Prime Minister has been sworn in for the third successive time, only the second Prime Minister in history to achieve that feat. All eyes are going to be not just on cabinet decisions now, but like we've been discussing all this while, on the portfolios. That's the big question everybody is obsessing with right now. Aishwarya.
Well, definitely, and people are obsessing about it because they do understand how important it is, because this will be a signal. Who is how close to Prime Minister Narendra Modi? Prime Minister is making sure that those people, those who understand the functioning of the Bharatiya Janata Party, those who have experience, those people have been called in, and you have new faces, people who are not new in, but people who are rather new, people like Chirag Paswan, all of them have also made the cut. So definitely all eyes on who will be getting what. And, Shiv, we are seeing how different streams of people, different parties have come together, but they are all just saying about two things. The first thing is that they will all make sure that the Modi government 3.0, Modi Sarkar 3.0 works in one line. And the second thing that they are saying is that we will complete the full 5-year term. That is something which all the top leaders have been speaking about. So keeping all those things in mind, the very crucial meeting inside Prime Minister's house, Shiv, taking place at the moment, and it seems like once they step out, about that time we'll understand who's getting what, and we'll see the leaders entering into their ministries early morning tomorrow, Shiv.
All right, thanks very much, Aishwarya, for getting us the latest. We will come back to you once that meeting ends, and we'll try and get a sense of what's happening at the cabinet and what's happening with the portfolios. And I just want to quickly also tell our viewers before we slip into a short break, something that's been going even more viral than the ministers perhaps at the swearing-in ceremony last evening at the Rashtrapati Bhavan was a mystery animal spotted inside the Rashtrapati Bhavan on the steps just a few meters away from the mantris taking oath of office. In this viral video, an animal looking like a leopard of some kind was seen casually strolling on the Rashtrapati Bhavan steps when the oath ceremony was being carried out. The video has taken social media by storm as people debate over whether the animal is a leopard or just a large cat. Most definitely seems like a feline. Could it be a dog? We don't know. My own guess is it's a leopard. Remember, there are many hundreds of acres of wooded area around the Rashtrapati Bhavan. It's quite possible that a leopard is snuck in. But what is the truth? Has the Rashtrapati Bhavan got cognizance of what this animal is? Could it have been a security threat? We'll try and keep you posted on that story. Of course, we always hope the animal is doing okay as well. First images coming in from the first cabinet meeting of Modi 3.0. All of them sitting in a circle. The Prime Minister flanked by Rajnath Singh and Amit Shah. The 30-strong cabinet of Modi 3.0. If you're wondering, viewer, there's no sound in these pictures. We haven't muted any sound. These pictures don't have sound, obviously for confidentiality purposes. This is, after all, the cabinet. The Prime Minister there with his cabinet in the first cabinet meet of Modi 3.0. All smiles in these initial pictures. Nitin Gadkari, Shivraj Singh Chauhan, Nirmala Sitharaman, JP Nadda, Ashwini Vaishnav, Kiran Rijiju, Gajendra Singh Shekhawat. All the leaders, 30 strong. Piyush Goyal, Sarbananda Sonowal, Giriraj Singh and others, Hardeep Singh Puri and L. Murugan. They're all there for the first cabinet meet by the Prime Minister, being chaired by the Prime Minister. Amazing pictures coming in, Polomi, of the first cabinet meet. The Prime Minister with his 30 cabinet ministers. First images, first meeting, Polomi.
That's right, Shiv. Those are the first pictures of the cabinet meeting, which has begun at the Prime Minister's residence at 7 Lok Kalyan Marg. It, of course, remains to be seen if the Prime Minister will reveal the portfolios to all his cabinet ministers and also, of course, those who are on the outside, the Minister of State with independent charge and MOSs as well. But we expect that list to drop shortly after this cabinet meeting. But you can see all smiles as well. This is, of course, the first meeting of this Union Cabinet. There have been some new inclusions, including, of course, Shivraj Singh Chauhan, Manohar Lal Khattar, C.R. Patil, JP Nadda back in the Union Cabinet as well. Now it remains to be seen what portfolios they get. Many, of course, new faces as well, some young faces as well. Shiv, Chirag Paswan, Ram Mohan Naidu in that meeting as well. These are allies, of course. We're speaking about Jitan Ram Manjhi is in that meeting as well. Two women ministers as well, Nirmala Sitharaman and Annapurna Devi from Jharkhand. They're in that meeting as well. It remains to be seen, of course, what ministries are allocated to these top ministers that form the main, the main crux of the government.
Okay, the crux of the government. We, of course, as journalists are still waiting with bated breath over what the portfolio distribution is going to be. We're wondering whether everybody in this frame, everyone in this frame is all smiles, obviously, because the Prime Minister, I think these are those initial moments where he's welcoming them and has some introductory remarks. I'm just wondering whether the people seated in these pictures know what their ministry is, Polomi. I'm going to ask you to conjecture on that now.
Well, going into that meeting, I don't believe they had any idea as to what their portfolios are likely to be, and I suspect they know at the moment as well, at least from those pictures, from the moments when, of course, those pictures were taken, which probably was at the start of the meeting before, of course, the photographers and the camera person would have been sent outside the room for the Prime Minister, in fact, to speak with his cabinet ministers. But yes, I don't think so. They know yet about what their portfolios are likely to be, Shiv.
Okay, let's wait and find out what those portfolios are likely to be. But images coming in from that first cabinet meet, Chirag Paswan, Kiran Rijiju, Jyotiraditya Scindia, all there, the Prime Minister and all of them. Okay, you can see some pleasantries being exchanged, I'm guessing. What journalists wouldn't give, to get a sense of what was actually being discussed in some of these meetings. But this is a cabinet meeting, of course, and confidentiality does apply. We'll be coming back to these images in just a moment. Continuity, consensus or shake-up, that answer will come very soon when the portfolio list is announced. This is Modi 3.0's first cabinet and first cabinet meet. Leaving you with these images.